So we're gonna get into this debate here, yeah? It's gonna be a bit of a tricky one, a bit opinionated as well. Who do we think is the most respected UK artist ever?
Can I just say the first thing? Because this is all I'm going to say for it. This is all I'm going to say for it, and I really don't think it's up for debate. Anybody who thinks it's up for debate probably started listening to music last week. Best and most credible UK artist ever within urban or black music, Soul II Soul. I don't know.
Do you know what? I had that in my
nothing
mind.
else to say in it.
Yeah,
if you disagree, you probably started listening to urban music when Tiny Temper came out. So
I thought he was gonna say Slick Rick.
Oh yeah.
Actually, what I thought you were gonna say.
Whoa, actually, I'm a massive Slick Rick fan, but Soul II Soul have done more for like UK urban music than anybody else ever has.
Slick Rick did the vibes though.
Yeah. Slick Rick is definitely in there.
Do you know how many people that actually don't know he's from here?
Yeah.
Do you know how many people that don't?
I mean,
Soul II Soul,
Do you know how many people don't actually know who he is?
Yeah,
which is even worse.
But Soul II Soul, you know.
Times move on. Hey, things move on, man. New kids are born and shit happens. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I think the new generation of people
Find
are
me
really
a new
going to
school
say
reggae
Wiley.
fan who doesn't know who Bob Marley is.
I know, but
So if
that's
you're a
an
new school hip hop
icon.
fan, you're supposed
That's an icon.
in hip hop.
No, but that's
Rakim, Kane, and Slick
That's
Rick
an
are
icon that
You're
transcends
supposed to
hip
know.
hop. Bob Marley is the artist that transcends reggae. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, alright, even a young reggae fan who, like, say a young Bashment fan that tells you they don't know who Bounty Killer is, you're not gonna find that. But you will find a hip hop fan who says they're a hip hop fan.
No, you will.
Just as much of an iconic fan.
Then you'll find a lot of young, like new dancehall fans now,
And they
don't know about
Billy
Bounty
or
Killer.
Bounty.
They only know about Popcorn. They know about Vibes Cartel. They know about Vibes Cartel, and they might know about Conscience, but they will not know about Bounty
Things
Killer.
move on, man. You know
some
what
of
I'm
these
saying?
kids now,
Shit moves on.
Yeah, trust me.
So who would be your, like, the UK artist in the urban culture who you respect the most? Who would that be?
I have to go with Snips. I have to say Soul II Soul, and I have to thank my pops for that still, you know, for educating me on that. But what I will say is though, there's gonna be a lot of kids who, when they hear the first question from this thing, a lot of kids are gonna say in their mind, they're gonna say Wiley, you know.
Yeah.
You know, the second person that does come to my mind is Wiley, because when I think about all of the things that he had done, you know, the scene that he managed to create, and the people that he had around him, a lot of the artists that, you know, a lot of the kids at the time that he had around him are considered as superstars now, do you know what I mean, or very respected in their own rights. And I think that Wiley has a personality that nobody can figure out.
My era, my era was someone like Rodney P, or Roots Maneuver. You know what I'm saying? So it's
not
like
even
London Posse.
London Posse.
Yeah,
London
right,
Posse.
of course.
I'd agree with London Posse.
Yes, cool. But the reason why I say Rodney P is because it's like he's not necessarily putting out records now, but he's still about doing the thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Alright, fair enough, but not on a level where, you know.
You'd be surprised. I'm pretty sure Rodney P's still getting festival bookings and...
Come on, I'm not saying like festival bookings, I'm saying is he putting out records that it's really hitting the hip hop scene.
Just because it's not in a very small urban demographic scene that are listening to Tinchy and fucking Tiny Temper or whoever, but Rodney P still puts out records.
Yeah, and the reason why Rodney P is so important, because he was the first one to translate the British accent.
By the way, motherfuckers going like I am back in the
Nah.
Remember he did this, remember he did that. I fucking said this shit. For me, Rodney P just kind of like transcended everything. Like he appealed to the students, he appealed to the roadman, he appealed to like the yardie, not in a derogatory term, but he appealed to the West Indians that were on like the ragga tip, like the rave tip. So it's like he was skilled. He wasn't one of them artists that just like appealed to all these different like cross genres because of what he wore or something, but he was actually a skilled MC, a skilled vocalist, a skilled artist, like someone who knew how to rock the crowd, someone who could rap, you know what I'm saying? So he deserves that shit.
But obviously, like I'm not arguing this. I'm just saying in it, yeah. That I'm going back to it is that obviously there will be a lot of people that will say Wiley still, only because of, you know, the thing of the fact that, you know, he's given birth to a certain type of scene or whatnot, and, you know, the amount of work that he's put in. And I think that there was a lot of people, regardless of the type of song that he made, because you had a lot of people that were coming through the grind thing and whatnot and getting a bit of chart success. There was so much people that was rooting for Wiley because he'd been doing this thing for so long, for like blood, sweat and tears and everything. So once he actually did get it,
the way that he
he
is,
could have
I
made
don't
the
care. I'm not going to Glastonbury. I'm
There's
going
no way anyone can say Wiley doesn't have a case to be.
of course, and the fact that he is who he is, the fact that he is who he is as well, like his personality, you know, like he's just a different type of man.
I think we've established here there's like a few errors in terms of who we think. It's a bit too difficult to
It's
decide
respected.
one damn person that
But then,
transcends
and it
the whole
depends on genres
period.
as well, because if we're talking hip hop, London Posse, Rodney P, Slick Rick. I'm not gonna say it because everyone will just rip the shit out of me in it. But
Can I just put
SAS.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, go on.
I was just going to say So Solid. I feel like they're very much respected, especially now, being as they've kind of rebirthed themselves, and they kind of set up a whole lot of people to kind of do what they're doing now. I had to put So Solid in there. I thought it was amazing that they kind of put on a great show probably like 2-3 months ago, and I feel like everybody was kind of cheering them on. When you had to kind of look back at what they've achieved and what they've accomplished, I feel like they really did, you know, make the likes of Chip and Wretch and everybody else that, you know, we consider urban kind of, you know, forge their careers, and, you know, you have to give them props for that. They literally started an entire movement.
He's still putting shit out today and people are receiving it. And that's Doom. Whether you know who he is or not.
Yeah,
But
I know
he's
Doom,
from
man.
MF Doom.
MF Doom.
Oh,
Fuck
MF Doom. Oh, okay.
Fuck
Alright,
MF
cool.
Doom, innit?
Like, Snips.
Fuck MF
Alright,
Doom.
great.
I don't really know
Fuck
about
him.
that.
Fuck him.
Let me say something,
Fuck him.
just so
I
you
don't
know,
really know about that
Doom
one,
fucked up a living proof night. That's why
Listen,
Snips has strong
Doom
hatred
took
for him.
Doom took money.
There you go.
Sent an imposter to come and DJ.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's a rip-off. He's basically he was an illegal immigrant in America for most of his life.
That's what I'm
Then he
saying.
got
But this is
deported to the
personal,
UK.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is
The guy's
personal.
living the guy's
leave the
living in
personal
Bermondsey
feelings to the side.
somewhere, trying to rip off promoters. Doom, please make yourself known. Come out tonight. We want to see you. We do your fucking pussy off.
But listen, yeah. But hold on, aside from the feelings though, has
No, but he can't put it aside. He can't put it aside. He can't differentiate his feelings from the
First,
subject
Doom
of
isn't
the
a
two
UK
man.
artist, bruv. Doom was born in the UK and established himself.
But you
as
can
an
say the
American
same for Slick Rick.
Yeah,
bro.
but Slick Rick rap with an English accent.
Oh,
He still
now he's
had-
trying to switch it
he
up,
still,
man.
No,
Come
but
on.
Slick Rick still represented the UK in his music.
well,
He still made it very apparent that he was from London. Doom was never done that.
I question
Doom
that.
only decided he was
I
from London
question
when
that.
they kicked him out the States.
I question that personally. You know what I'm saying?
And plus, Doom ain't had the same
I don't
impact
think
as
he's the
Slick Rick.
most
I'm not
respected
saying.
ever.
I'm not. This is what I'm
No
saying.
way,
I'm not.
come
Look,
Is he in the top 10 though?
Let's talk about
Alright, who would you put in the top 10?
Can we talk about Sade?
Ah, that's too difficult.
Can we talk about Sade? Because Sade should.
Because we'll miss somebody. We will miss
But
somebody.
who do we think? If you had to roll off a name of artists who you think would be like the
in
most
the
respected
top 10,
artists in the UK?
Skinny Man will be one.
Skinny Man. Alright.
Skinny Man.
So if I throw out artist name and you say yes or no, how would we do it like that?
Do your thing. Let's try it.
Akala.
Not top 10.
Not yet. Not
Like,
yet.
not of all time.
yet,
He's
yet.
dope, but not top 10.
He will though. He will.
He's got a chance. He's got a chance.
He will.
Loki.
Loki's got a case.
Another one. Yeah, another one. Casey's got.
Whittling it down
be
to
a
top
thing.
10 is very hard, but Loki's definitely.
Because we're talking about
All time. That's what I'm saying. That's all time.
Best artist for me who held it down is the most respected being a key word. You got to look at respected, what those key characteristics mean. You're talking about value of their music, you're talking about the reputation of their music, inspiration of their music. So for me, it has to be people like Akala, people like Loki, more so Loki, just because of the significance that he draws on his lyrics. He talks about war, he talks about prisoners of war, he talks about racism, he talks about so many issues that aren't incorporated within hip-hop, as well as conscious hip-hop. But my most respected artist in the UK has to be Loki.
Well, we've just said soul to soul. To me, you can't go from soul to soul to
Low.
But you got to
Sade needs to be
consider
in
the
there,
errors though, man. You got to consider from like then.
Look at Sade.
If they're still influential now, which soul to soul are, if you say soul to soul,
I'm talking like Loki's been around for like 10 years.
Yeah,
but
he's been doing his thing.
Come on now, T.
I'm
In terms
just
of, like,
saying,
body
I'm
of
just
work
saying,
and their
'cause
influence.
10 years isn't that long, you know. 10 years.
you're right.
That's
To be honest, Soul to Soul weren't
2003.
putting out
That
music
was
for 10 years.
2003.
What I'm saying is,
But Soul to Soul weren't putting out music for 10 years.
Yeah,
To be fair, they probably had a good 5-year run.
Yeah, there you go.
And to be
Yeah, but
honest,
just because you didn't put out music for 10
Sade,
years doesn't mean that you
everyone
should
keeps
be
ignoring
there.
me. I'm saying Sade needs to be in the top 10.
that's, these got a lot to argue with it because it's like, hey, that's.
Yeah, but just because you've been making music for a certain period of time doesn't mean that you should be the most respected.
I'm just, alright, look, we're trying to reel off some artists here. We've gone through at 5, so now we're like, okay, cool, let's make it 10, and we're just, we're going through this.
What about Rich?
Not yet.
In time.
Not yet, but again.
How long would you give Rich to be at that level?
He's got
I
to do
think-
certain things.
Yeah,
There's got to be a couple more albums.
Like what? Like what?
I think judging an artist off of one album is too quick. But I think Wretch potentially could be.
Do you know what I think you need to do? I think you need to create a movement, like a proper movement that affects a whole.
That's what we
bunch of
ain't
people.
necessarily had too tough.
Yeah.
Soul to Soul really had that. Like they really had
Exactly. They
that.
had the funky dreads.
Oh,
and
yeah,
everything. They
yeah,
had
yeah.
the
And
whole
you know what?
package and
London Posse had that.
Yeah, I
London
agree.
Posse had that.
They were the first ones with a British accent to come.
I think within different genres, there's different people that deserve that respect. I think grime, pretty much Wiley embodies that, and Dizzy has a fair case as well. Within hip hop, London Posse and Slick Rick, and more recently I think SAS. But then I think overall, Soul II Soul, just kind of like the amount of influence they've had globally on soul and R&B music over the past 20 years, I think is undeniable.
Don't forget Chester P, he's in contention.
I don't know, man, but yo,
not of all time.
I mean, I'm throwing some shit at them, man.
I come from your school, innit? So I definitely like, these are artists that I genuinely fuck with, innit? But I'm talking like global like impact.
I hear you.
What are you saying about like PSG or DT or you know fucking like some of them old school garage heads? I mean, they was putting in some of that work back in the day.
You're talking about most
influential.
That's what I said. So
Would you say
when you went into a
Dizzy,
dance and heard DT,
would you say Dizzy though?
Dizzy has a case.
For what he's done, yeah.
Dizzy has a case.
Definitely, because I brought in a corner.
To be honest, from the grime world, Dizzy and Wiley are the only people who really have a case to be in the top 10.
You have to say Wiley. I don't think you can separate the two.
I think those two are
can,
the only ones.
But it's close. It's close. But I think Dizzy's is.
What about alright then? What about the not new school, but the people who are there now? Like, what about your Tinys, your Kanos? What about people like that?
I think it's too early for those heads.
I think Kano, it hurt. I don't think Kano is, but it hurts me that he wasn't, because I think he should have been.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever reached the potential that he should have been. But I personally,
why is that,
I think talent-wise, Kano had the potential
but why do you
to
think
be the best out of his country.
Because we all agree he's got the talent.
The scene wasn't ready for it yet.
Yeah, really?
I think the scene just weren't ready for it.
No, but people were feeling Kano though.
People were, yeah, but not the masses though, and radio didn't get that at the time. The radio only really started to get it a little bit when flipping, you know, Dizzy came through and Tinchy came through, and then they started looking a little bit deeper into what was going on. At that time, when Kano was doing what he was doing,
Tinchy and Dizzy were like two different time frames. I even say Dizzy was like 5, even though they started around the same time. In terms of gaining like mass popularity, I think Dizzy was like 5-6 years ahead of Tinchy. So I'm saying even between those periods, Kano he could have slid through.
Which was a very big exception. But
the other thing is, then what are we talking about when we say influence? There's plenty of artists out there who've created a massive influence.
Boy better know.
See, Wiley's a perfect example of someone who hasn't gained the same chart success as a lot of his peers, but essentially what Wiley's stood for and Wiley's work has been more influential than any of his peers that might have leapfrogged him as far as sales. And that's the same in a lot of the genres as well.
Yeah,
I wish this popularity thing wasn't about sales.
I don't dim out, even though it's not artists.
If you really want to dictate who's the most popular, it's based upon who has the most fans, which is really measured by who sells the most records.
Yeah, but we're asking who's the most respected.
Are we talking about, can we add DJs in this as well? Because DJs are artists to a degree too. DJs are artists.
Yeah, but this is artists, this is musical artists.
I'm going to queue up, everyone will be like, Snips. But if you're talking about respected globally, SAS, you can't fuck with it. Go to America.
Can we get a straight camera shot? Can you say that to the camera seriously, please? You know what I'm saying? Can we get that?
Now, real talk. Go to America. SAS have more respect from the hip hop world, from this country, than any other artist, bar maybe Slick Rick and possibly London Posse.
I ain't gonna lie, you know, people like within the industry do actually really like and respect SAS, you know. Like just through some of the things I've heard.
Yeah, it's just
I don't really want to name drop. I don't really want to name drop, yeah. I don't really want to name drop, but a certain artist was chilling in the studio with Swiss, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. Sorry, do you want to pick up?
Talk about Swiss Beats, yeah?
Yeah, it was Swiss Beats, yeah. And then there was like a few people, including Swiss, that was like, yeah, okay, so what do you know? SAS, they were doing their thing. Like them, when you see them, tell them, man said.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. It was
can I ask a question? Can I ask a question then? See this so-called artist who was sitting in the studio with Swiss.
Yeah.
How come he ain't gone and told Mega and Mayhem? Yeah, listen, Swiss was asking about you lot.
No, another. I don't want to name drop
because
again.
let me just say, because that happens a lot, you know.
No,
certain artists are in studios.
I don't want to name drop another person
who get told, yo, what's going on with it, and then they don't say anything because people. Yeah, so that happens, innit? That happens.
So we're not talking about that though. If we have to, because we've got to wrap this up, yeah. If I go through all of you and you have to say, it's hard, but you got to name one artist who you think is the most respected in the UK, but it can't be the same.
Soul II Soul, innit?
I'm not flinging Wiley, still hot.
I would have to go with Rodney P.
I'll have to go with an act that created a movement, and I will go with So Solid. What?
Don't subscribe, man.
Why don't you tell them?
Lala, I think they listen to you more than me, so just tell them to subscribe.
Teeth, look, you're always the one cursing, swearing, being the aggressive one. Why don't you tell them?
Look, you've got the whole mother nurturing personality of the group, so just tell them, please, it's just long.
Alright, look, because my boy asked, I'm asking you guys, please.
You know what, fuck it. This is all bullshit, man. What the fuck was that? Look, just hit that subscribe button, get these debates to your feed, keep it simple. Thank you.
Don't ask me to do anything for you again.
It's fine.
And every artist is trying to get on every single thing possible to sell their record. He'll just go Jamaica. He just does that.